versus Anthony, 3 times consecutive, the player of the year, Roth. He just received the George Young Memorial Trophy before we went on the air, and this man, Earl Anthony, player of the decade.
When they bowl against each other, it's not for the money, it's just for the title.
Roth told me last night, he said, Dave, I really want to win this one, which is not to say that he doesn't want to win every time out, but he wants this one more. This is in his backyard. Leaves the solid 10, the bowler's nemesis.
And you can see the trajectory of Roth. That's what we preempted earlier. Watch Roth from behind, the powerful swing, much like Pete Weber did, but watch how Roth trusts the ball way out. Now, sees him lay the ball down about the 10th board. Right there in the center of the lane, this to the right side with a good loft. Now watch how wide it goes, but he gets an unfortunate break, solid 10.
And he has a spare up in the first. His pretty wife is here today. Mark Roth, not too long ago, left the realm of bachelorhood. Right behind him there, Mr. and Mrs. Woody Woodruff, AMF. Great friends of mine. Mark Roth way outside and misses it.
Well, he knew that left-hand lane was hooking a little bit more, so he decided to give it a little extra room, but he almost, what we said, ditched it. But he's better off than pulling it. The 1-2-4 is a difficult spare in these circumstances. He's coming from that outside trajectory. When it hits the center of the lane, it's going to break very sharply to the left.
But he is...
And Earl Anthony up and ready to go, Dave.
Yeah, he had... couldn't see it. Roth was up. Anthony was already up and had his ball wiped off and ready to go, and that's the way he does it. A double. Earl Anthony up by 13.
Well, there's a bit of psychology in that, too, Dave.
I'm going to ask you that. A little gamesmanship there?
Well, these players have played each other many times, as Mark had told me before, in the competition. They've only bowled for the title twice. Earl has won once, and also Mark has won once. But a good psychological thing among experienced pros is that when you're ahead, force the match a little bit, bowl a little more quickly, and Earl has done that so far in the first 3 frames.
Solid 7. You're saying it's like gin rummy. If you're winning, deal quickly, right?
That's it.
And the losers holler, you know.
But this match, I don't think anybody will be blowing out in this match. Earl Anthony steady, a different type of style of Mark Roth. Down the line, stows the straight ball, is much more, probably a little more accurate than Roth. Roth depends on the tremendous power and determination.
Earl Anthony up by a dozen. Mark Roth. Good pin action. May have looked a little thin to you, but look at the pin action he gets.
And just like a form, he is just out there. See that tremendous lift? And he doesn't throw the ball out of the lane. He lifts it out there with his wrist. You see that wrist roll on the ball? There's that tremendous outside break trajectory. The 5 into the 4 into the 7. That's the best hit for Roth on that angle. Can even the match. Big strike here.
Perilously close. Got a little break there. Good pin action again. A little heavy on this one, a little light on the other, but because of the great pin action, he carries it, and he has a double against Earl Anthony and Mark's bride.
And such a beautiful girl she is.
And she's not rooting for this man.
Well, Jackie's pretty neutral, I'll tell you. She's quite a young woman, and she just figures if Mark bowls well enough, he'll deserve it. She doesn't root against anyone.
Saying go Earl, and he leaves the 6.
Solid 6 pin.
Did he deserve more than that? Looked like a good hit.
Pulled it slightly, Dave, and the ball cut through. Now, oftentimes you'll have the 3 pin go to the sideboard. That's the 3rd pin on the right part of the screen, and go between the 6 and 10. That time, it just knocked out the 10 and didn't catch the 6.
Routine pickup. Earl Anthony, who is never called Earl the Pearl. It's just Earl.
The match as we set it up, all even or almost even through 4 frames. The advantage actually slightly to Roth's favor, even though Anthony leads. Roth has a double working. Anthony leads by 1 pin, spare up in the 4th.
He's bowled only 3 games in the last 3 weeks before coming here.
take the lead if he strikes on this ball.
And he did. Mark Roth with a triple. Hasn't won a tournament this year.
The outside trajectory of Roth. You see his wrist roll through that ball as he lifts it out on the lane. You don't throw a ball out on a bowling lane. You lift it out on the lane, and that comes from many years of timing and practice. An important shot for Roth because he struggled on the left-hand lane in the second frame. He got a good break in the fourth. Let's see if he zeroed it in here in the sixth.
And he's there. Remember some years ago, Bo, one of the national magazines did a story, quote, proving, end quote, that the curveball in baseball was an optical illusion. I love Roth's optical illusion here in bowling.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that fellow was staying between the 1 and 3 pins right now, I think he'd be in trouble in front of Roth's ball. Anthony can cut the lead back down to 9 pins.
Earl Anthony with a double. We said it was classic, and it is.
You saw smooth, methodical. He depends on solid pocket hits. Look at that ball. Absolutely perfect. Laid all those pins right into the pit. You could have put up tree trunks, and he'd have knocked them down when you hit them that perfect.
No, come on, Bo.
You can. I've seen this man do it.
Tree trunks?
4-pounders, let's say.
All right.
To take the lead again.
Earl's down rooting for himself, and he has a triple. You know, he has become more demonstrative in recent years and a more, not that he ever was inaccessible, but he's developed, I think, more of a personality out here on the tour.
It's amazing what $1 million will do.
Mark Roth makes it 5 in a row.
This is what the folks paid to see.
Yeah.
Roth trailing, leading by 9. You know, in the first 10 weeks, the number 1 man has won twice. The number 2 man, where Earl started, has only won once. Roth, 300 games this week.
That ties a PBA record. Roth with 6 in a row. Up 5. 19 now.